let's talk to Christy Gutowski from the Chicago Tribune, who has been covering the situation in Bali and the story, and it's a distressing story, right, about a Chicago area mom and her daughter. The mom and daughter and the daughter's boyfriend all end up in Bali together. The mom gets murdered, stuffed into a suitcase. The pregnant girl is standing trial for the murder. And the question really becomes, what will be the outcome here, and the boyfriend as well. One of the interesting things, and Chris, you were on with us last week talking about this and said that there's going to be other interesting twists here, and yes, indeed there are. But the girl here, the teenage girl, turned against her boyfriend, saying yes, he was the one that actually killed her. He did it in self-defense because he thought that she was going to kill the baby. But in court in Bali, she basically threw him under the bus. Now, you have just released on the Tribune.com website, and I'm assuming that this will all be all over the papers tomorrow as well, or the Tribune, there is unbelievable email exchanges between the mom and her friend who lived on the East Coast, which basically warned that something really bad was going to happen here. Isn't that correct?
Hi, guys. Yes, the emails that the Tribune obtained through one of Sheila von Wiesmack's best friends, the two have known each other since the 80s, chronicle really the last 17 months of her life after she had moved from Oak Park to Chicago up until 4 days before her body was found. And as you said, Ro, they really show this parent who is struggling with a difficult teenage daughter to raise her alone and get her mental health services and doesn't want her charged with various crimes that she's alleged to have committed against the mom, throwing a party at the Conrad Hotel with 7 of her best friends, running up $4,000 on the mom's American Express card. She doesn't want her charged. She wants to get her help, but she's got that inner struggle, and the emails really tell just an emotionally gripping story.
Yeah, I was looking at these emails, Christy, emotionally gripping, almost an understatement, and it's amazing how many times she uses the word scary. I'm scared for my daughter. I'm scared for myself. She talks about the rages she would go into, that she escalates at an alarming rate, doesn't have control over herself, and then you can see the emails that you got from the mother, who's now deceased. It just goes down to saying, I am worried for my own life, and I'm worried for hers. It's a really troubling, chilling story when you read it.
And when you speak to her friends, such as Elliot, he will tell you that...
and we're about to talk to Elliot, I know is there, and I'm hearing him in the background. Hold on one second, Elliot. We're about to introduce you here.
No, it's okay. I got off, another WGN guy called me, and I was on a phone call.
Who would that be? We'll have to stop that immediately. But we're live on the air here right now, Elliot, so hold on one second. And Elliot Jacobson is the guy that was corresponding with Sheila Mack, and this really is the scariest part of this, because now for you, Mr. Jacobson, wasn't it? Did it feel as perilous as it looked?
I just didn't see this coming, as I've told Christy in the many times we've talked. Even though there was a bad history of violence and assaults, there was also a lot of other things. Anybody who looks at the photographs of the two when they were on vacation, at parties, at events, there was just nothing to indicate it would reach a level that this reached. I didn't mean to interrupt your interview with Christy, by the way.
No, that's all right. I was about to introduce you into this because I think that's the interesting thing. I mean, these are emails between the two of you. How long had you known?
I met Sheila in May of 1983, and so we knew each other for 32 years. She introduced me, actually, to the lady who had become my fiancée, or my late fiancée. She passed away in 2001. Adrian Wallace, and we met when I came to Illinois to run a political campaign.
Now, as you're watching this whole thing develop in Bali, are you convinced of the daughter's participation in this murder?
Let's put it this way: there is a great deal of overwhelming evidence, both at the crime scene and from the past history and the relationship, emails, Instagrams, and other assorted bits, that kind of presents an overwhelming picture of culpability. However, it's probably best to stop at that point and wait until they render a verdict.
Are you concerned? Let me ask you this. Are you concerned that and this is for both you and Christy, are you concerned that the release of these emails will be used as evidence against this girl and, who is, in line to get executed in Bali if found guilty of this, and they execute by firing squad? I mean, the release of these emails at the time in the middle of this trial, do either of you have any concern that it's going to push judgment in Bali?
Christy, you want to answer, or you want me to answer?
Well, I will tell you some background, Rowan and Anna. The emails, Elliot had put together some 500 emails and gave them to the FBI shortly after Sheila's death. And I'd been after him for the Chicago Tribune for quite a while, and only after they were sure that he wasn't, he was sure that he wasn't being called to testify in Bali, and as well as, the emails being used, did he provide them. But Heather and Tommy and many others during a 4-month police investigation gave statements to the police, and some of this information has already come out, just not from the mother's own words. So we showed a lot of restraint in publicizing the emails. There's some information that just was not substantiated. Everything that we printed was substantiated through police records, court records, things of that nature. One of the most interesting things you'll see in those emails is that she does verify that she knew that her daughter was pregnant. And Tommy testified last week in Bali that that's why he went and why she got angry, because they told her for the first time their daughter was pregnant. So it is relevant.
But that not only is that relevant, I mean, that may, and that's the piece of evidence I'm talking about here. That may be the piece of evidence that turns this tribunal, essentially, right, in Bali against her and potentially gets her executed.
We don't know that. I mean, the police, it's very interesting, and Ro, you talked about this a lot last week when you were telling your viewers a little bit about the culture and the history and the politics there, but they haven't even called police that we can tell to testify at this trial, the lead detective, for example, or supposedly the prosecutors in their indictment said that Heather was texting back and forth before leaving for Bali with Tommy trying to find a hitman. None of that has been introduced yet. So what they use, if they're going to use a Chicago Tribune article, thousands of miles away, I don't know.
That email you just referenced, it says here, the one that you got, Christy, Dear Elliot, Heather played me again for a new iPhone phone. More lies, more dangerous behavior. I discovered that she is pregnant once again. Then she goes on to talk about a stolen chase card and given to Tommy, the boyfriend, who's also charged in this crime. I mean, as Elliot, as you were hearing all this, did you give any advice to Sheila? Did she ask for any? I mean, she seems like she was definitely torn between trying to help her daughter and prevent what was happening, this destructive behavior.
Yeah, there were many of us who gave Sheila advice, and I put a lot of the advice in writing. One of the things I put in writing was a lengthy email to Sheila telling her that in order for Heather to receive any inheritance, should anything happen to Sheila, she would have to earn the inheritance. And there would be certain acts.
And there seemed to have been some paperwork along that line and then rescinded, right? I mean, there seems to be some movement back and forth. Can I ask you both to, well, actually, I think we're up against the clock here either way. More will develop here in this story, without question. And we appreciate you both being with us. And Christy, we'll talk to you soon. Elliot Jacobson, thank you for being with us. Appreciate it, sir.
Thanks, guys.
And that's the guy who was in contact with the Chicago area mom who was murdered in Bali. I mean, it's what a crazy story. What a crazy story.
Think about it.
Yeah, and you do wonder if at what point those do lead to, if the Balinese officials, the Indonesian officials, turn around and say, whoa, look at this. And then boom, next thing you know, it's firing squad city.